For the last 4 years, thousands of Texas Department of Public Safety troopers and officers became a permanent presence all along the state's 1,954 miles of Rio Grande border. Republican Governor Greg Abbott deployed them in March 2021 as part of the $11 billion Operation Lone Star to battle the largest mass migration event in American history, which was begun when President Joe Biden ordered his Border Patrol to admit almost all illegal border crossers and for ICE to end most deportations. State troopers flooded the river zone in hundreds of patrol vehicles. DPS boats hit the water. Out came Texas Ranger SWAT teams and helicopters and thousands of Texas National Guard troops. All pulled shifts covering the border 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and 365 days a year for 4 years. But no more. On a recent visit to the El Paso Border Patrol sector across from Juarez, Mexico, one of the most trammeled and dramatic hotspots on the Texas border for all 4 years, not a single Texas trooper could be found. It turns out they're deemed no longer needed at the river's edge. When I asked Texas DPS why, officials pointed to a precipitous decline in illegal border crossings after Donald Trump entered office and ordered his Border Patrol to catch and deport them all instead of admitting them all, a 180-degree policy swivel, and also for ICE to conduct mass deportations instead of historically few deportations. In addition to ordering Border Patrol to stop releasing everyone, Trump has bolstered their ability to catch and deport by deputizing Texas National Guard to make immigration arrests and put thousands more active duty troops with sophisticated surveillance equipment on the Texas riverfront. Lo and behold, few if any immigrants today want to spend the smuggling money to cross, now that they can't get in to stay and pay it off. $2,000.
$2,000.
$2,000, okay.
2,000. It's a problem.
And maybe you won't make it.
No, entonces mira.
The Americans could catch you, yeah?
Sí, entonces viene.
You get caught, then you lose your, and sent back, you lose your $2,000.
Si te agarran, te mandan para atrás.
And then what about the $2,000?
You lost it.
Sí,
Yeah, you lost it. They're gone.
Is that the real reason you're not going to try to get smuggled over?
Es una de las razones de que no vas a tratar de cruzar.
Esa es una razón porque.
What is your knowledge about what the Americans are doing when they catch you? What is your knowledge?
Se dieron dos dictámenes.
They can put you in jail for 2 years.
All of that was enough to drive down the number of illegal border crossings to the lowest ever recorded. All of this amounts to a welcome kind of peace dividend for war-weary officers of the Texas DPS, which has shifted Operation Lone Star focus to interior crime problems still associated with the border. You can't help but notice the emptiness looking across the river from Juarez, where hundreds of Texas officers and soldiers just a few months ago were posted. Texas put all this up, this wire, but you can see that where there were once many hundreds of Texas DPS troopers, there are none anymore. They have all been withdrawn because the new Trump border is keeping people out. It's that simple. And also, Border Patrol, when they catch them this time, they expel people back to their home countries or back into Mexico, depending on where they're from. But this is the war debris from the crisis, all just stuck in there, all around, trash all over the place. But there are no more people. There are no more migrants here at all. It is over. The mass migration crisis is completely over. The border has not looked like this since before the Biden administration triggered the mass migration crisis on Inauguration Day 2021. Governor Abbott rolled out Operation Lone Star to try to deter and block immigrants from reaching the Border Patrol agents, often right behind them, who would let everyone in. The cops put up miles of concertina wire and fortifications of all kinds to keep them from the Border Patrol agents. Behind them, they physically blocked the immigrants from entering. Heavily armed Texas Rangers invaded and seized a river island from the grip of dangerous drug cartels. They were the only force that stood between immigrant wire cutters like these and the Border Patrol agents they so desperately were trying to reach. On the water, they saved countless drowning immigrants. In the air, they tracked down drug smugglers. All through the Biden border crisis, Texas was there trying to stop immigrants from reaching Biden's Border Patrol agents. Too often, they couldn't pull it off. But they seized drugs and caught smugglers and rescued extortion hostages while they were there. Now, even the thousands of runners per month who not long ago used to run through cutouts in this old Bush-era fence aren't bothering very often. I've seen them climb over it on ladders, and then they run into then they've got this fence, and then they just do this right there. No recent footprints here. Texas State Police can now turn the reins over to a newly empowered Border Patrol with troop backup and take a badly needed breather. They are now out in force with Department of Homeland Security permission to hunt down, capture, and deter illegal border crossers like they were originally trained. Operation Lone Star is far from over, DPS officials insist. The cops are helping Trump's U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement agents round up criminal aliens in the state's huge cities. They're still in the water and air, but in alignment with a sharp decline in border crossings. One last key takeaway about the Texas decision is that it represents the clearest yet outside assessment that the Biden mass migration crisis is indeed over, at least for the next 4 years. This is Todd Bensman, Center for Immigration Studies, reporting from Juarez and El Paso.